Welcome to a quick review of the Arbiter bypass set by Covert Instruments. Yeah, this is a bit of a controversial set. It's not really lock sport, but it's also very useful. It's more aimed at pen testing and whatnot. It's their standard case, which, to be quite frank, I love the fact there's no Velcro on it. Open up, you have your standard Covert Instruments bypass card. Yeah, I have a few different bypass cards. This is actually quite thick. Not unusable thick, but just nice and sturdy thick. So you have your little bits for slipping and whatnot and nudging. Yeah, fits in here fairly nicely. What else do we have in it? We have the traveler hook, which you're probably going to use for the thicker bit or for bigger gaps. Because let's face it, it's just a nicer handle. It's thick. It is quite beefy. So you would have to have a decent enough gap in the door, which most will probably have. I'm not sure about the length here. I do being a bit longer, but that's going to make it a bit weaker. It's just going to be a little more, I wouldn't say finicky, but yeah, it's a decent tool. It is really, really solid. Then we have the Adams Wright bypass tool. Folds out both sides. Little hook. This does take a little bit of practice to learn how to use it properly. Hook is a little bit on the thin and delicate side, so you will damage this if you don't practice with it and you just go straight in and try and whack a door open. But yeah, opens both sides for left and right. There are Chinese knockoffs of this, I believe, but from the reviews I've seen, the quality is not great. We have a notch decoder. Again, a handle, not as thick as the traveler hook, but decent, solid. We have an even thinner notch decoder, which I like having the two options because the thin ones, as most of you will know, don't really last too long or they damage fairly easily. So if you get away with the thicker one, I'd go with the thicker one. Bypass knife. It's about as thick as you can get away with without being too thick. It feels really solid. It's one of the more solid feeling ones I have. Standard Covert Instruments pick handle, feels decent. Not a huge size, but not too small. It's about standard for a lot of the big brands. Again, it does feel fairly solid. There's virtually no flex in that, if there is any at all. There is padlock bypass tool. If you know what it's for, you know what it's for. Usually made for the American 1100s, but will work in a lot of others. Again, this one is quite a thick, beefy handle. Adams Wright bypass tool. Yeah, not much you can say about that. It's a wire made at a specific angle, and again, like the some of the other tools, it is a really, really thick, solid handle. It's a shame those tips aren't interchangeable if you damage them, because the handle is just one big solid lump, and I'd say that handle will last forever. So yeah, just a quick review. I'm not going to demonstrate any of them because you can find it anywhere you want, and I don't have a lot of the locks that I need on hand, but I can't remember what I paid for it. I did get it in a sale. If you're buying from Covert Instruments, especially if you're in the EU, I definitely say wait for the sale, get a few bits together. But yeah, see, traveler hook, there's the bypass card. It folds together nicely. Would I carry this as a standalone? Probably not, but it's going to be on the back. There was a point made that by Lock Noob that it was more aimed towards the American market, but I have seen a lot of the Adams Wrights popping up on doors over here. The padlock bypass is always handy to have. Again, this should work on a number of padlocks, and the coders always handy to have. The only thing that I would like to see this that's missing is the cone picks by Covert Instruments. They have a lovely set of ergonomic cone picks. They've got them labelled on a lot of locks what they'll actually work on. So yeah, definitely worth the money if you're collecting or if you're going to use them. Is it worth the money if you're just into lock sport and you only want stuff you're going to pick locks with? Probably not. But for my opinion, definitely worth having in the kit. Click like and subscribe.